All right, we're live, guys. It is great to be with you, Coach Travis Robertson. And we are live in two Facebook groups to our clients and also to you guys in the How to Scale Up Your Real Estate Business Facebook group. So here's what we got. We have a fantastic show planned for you today. Welcome to the High Performance Agent Weekly Show. As I said, my name's Coach Travis Robertson. And basically what we're going to be talking about is how to make a shift from order taker to sales maker and why this is so important in today's market. Now, I'm here to tell you guys, if you've been struggling, like if you've ever been wondering, if you're finding yourself right now wondering, where's my next opportunity going to come from? Where's my next deal going to come from? Where's my next client going to come from? Where's your next commission check going to come from? You are in the right spot, because today, on today's show, I'm going to be showing you how to make this shift from sale or from order taker to sales maker, what that means, what it means to your business, what are the steps you need to take, because if you don't make this shift, you are going to end up as roadkill in this market. Now, I don't know about you. I don't want to be the roadkill. I want to be the person driving that kills the thing that's in the road. So I don't want you to be the kill. I want you to be the driver. So in this as well, there's a huge opportunity for you, because if you make this shift in your business, here's what I'm here to tell you. You're going to see an enormous jump in your income every single month, because your competitors are not going to make this shift. They're not going to make this jump. And because of that, they're going to be leaving tens of thousands of dollars in commissions on the table for you to swoop in, take those clients and make them yours. So before we get in, let me do this. I know we're like every day, guys, we are adding new people to the Facebook group. It's really exciting. We're glad you're here. Glad you're here. For those that don't know who I am, my name is Coach Travis Robertson, and I am the CEO of Don't Settle Coaching. And basically what we do is we train real estate professionals just like you how to rapidly scale your businesses. So we show you lead generation strategies, conversion systems and strategies. We show you how to do better with your scripting so that when you're having conversations, it's natural, it's authentic. And we show you how to put systems in place and build teams and really get your business to that next level, whatever that next level looks like for you. For some of you, it's like, man, I want to get to my first $100,000. We can help you do that. And honestly, let's be real, $100,000 in just about any market, not enough to cut it. It's always the first goal that everybody has. It's like, I want to make 100K. And then they realize I made 100K. It's not enough. So maybe your next step is $250,000 or $500,000, or maybe it's building a team. Whatever that next step is, my team and I, we specialize in helping people just like you make that leap in your business. So we're glad you're here. Welcome to the group. Welcome to the training. And let's kind of handle some housekeeping things, and then we're going to dig in, guys. It is a really, really awesome training today. So here's the thing. Number one, I want to know where you guys are. I've got this chat thing up here with StreamYard so I can see your comments. So do me a favor, drop a comment below. Where are you watching from? Where are you located? What market are you serving? Whatever it is, drop a comment below. I love to know where you guys are. We have clients all over the country, people we work with all over the country. And at this point, I feel like there's not a city or town I haven't heard of. It's pretty rare nowadays. Temecula, awesome. Good to see you here. I love Temecula, wine country in Southern California, for those that don't know. Huntsville, Alabama, really cool to see that here too. It's so amazing to see all the different cities and locations you guys are in and who you're serving. Need a little Travis fix from Minneapolis. By the way, there's a way to go approve StreamYard so I can see your names. I can't see your names in StreamYard. That's like one of the downsides of using this platform, is I can't see your names. So basically, it's awesome. All you guys just show up as like Facebook users. So I'm sure I know some of you guys, but it's great to see you here. Now, one other thing is, if you're watching live, do me a favor, drop a hashtag live into the comments. And if you're watching the replay, drop a hashtag replay into the comments. I know every time we do this, we get, about a 50 or so who are watching live, but then we get hundreds of you guys who end up watching the replay. So it's fun to see the difference between those of you watching live, those of you watching the replay, who's able to come to both of these. Now, also with what I'm going to share with you today, there's going to be some takeaways. There's going to be some aha moments. And one of the things I want to encourage you to do is interact in the comments. If there's a takeaway, just type it out, put it in the comments. Number one, that anchors it for you. And number two, what that also does is it shares it with somebody else, and you get to learn from other people's takeaways. They're going to hear things maybe you didn't hear. You're going to hear things that they didn't hear. And so it allows you to learn more through this process. And it also lets me know what's resonating. So as we're rolling through this, I can kind of shift and adjust maybe where we're focusing some of that time and effort, so that, and if you've got questions, drop it in here as well, because it really does allow me to interact with you guys. I want this to be interactive. I want it to be fun. And I want to make sure that I'm getting you guys as much value as possible. So, and last but not least, because my team told me to do this, and I always feel like my kids listen to these podcasts or these shows, and they're always like, smash the like button, smash the heart button, whatever it is. But do me a favor, smash the like button, smash the heart button. Let me know what's resonating with you guys as we're rolling through as well. It helps me understand where we might need to do some future trainings, some future topic ideas, things like that. We use all of your feedback to create these trainings. So just know that we hear you, we value you, and we want to do this. Now, let's do this. Let me ask you, do you ever find yourself wondering where your next opportunity, where your next client, where your next commission check is going to be coming from? Have you ever found yourself in that position where maybe you had a couple of months with no sales coming in, a couple of months with no closings? You ever been there? If you have, if you've wondered where that next deal is going to come from, if you've had those sleepless nights, if you've had those 3 a.m. wake ups that you can't go back to sleep because your brain's just rolling and the stress and the anxiety has been hitting you, this is where you want to be right now. I want you to buckle up, grab a notepad, grab a pen, because I'm going to take you through some things that you can be doing right now to change this so you are never in that position again. I do not want you living there. I do not want you to be there. I'm going to show you how to change that, because every day, my team and I, we talk to agents all over the country, you guys, all over the country. And they're struggling right now to navigate the changes that are taking place in the market. It's not changes coming, it's changes on us. It's changed, it's changing, and it's requiring people to show up differently. You know, I just the other day, I was chatting with a woman. She was telling me how she's like, 2020 was a great year for me. 2021 was an awesome year for me. I think she did, it was like, it was 16 deals, I think in 2021 or 2020, like 23 deals in 2021. I'll get there eventually. 2020 was 16, 2021 was 23 deals. And then 2022, what happened? Interest rates started going up and things started slowing down. And so much of that business that she was getting, it was the referrals, it was the repeat business, it was past clients coming out of the woodwork in 2020 and 2021, and even a bit in the beginning of 2022. But then interest rates started going up. Things started changing. Anxiety started creeping into the market. Everybody started talking about a crash. Everybody started talking about all these things. And the buyer she was working with, what happened to him? Gone. The people who were thinking about selling their house, gone. Her pipeline started drying up. And since then, it's just been struggle after struggle after struggle for her. And what I can tell you is that you're not alone if this is what you've been experiencing, but I don't want you staying there. I don't want you staying there. And so if the phone's not ringing like it used to, I'm going to show you why. And I'm going to show you what you can do with it. See, what we're seeing right now, guys, and what I want you to do, if you're there right now, maybe you can relate. Maybe you are there right now. Maybe you've been there where the business is drying up, the referrals are slowing down, the repeat business, it's gone. I'm going to tell you exactly why that's happening. But if you can relate, do me a favor, type me into the chat. Just type me into the chat. If you've been there, or maybe you're there right now and you're seeing that shift is starting to impact your production, it's starting to impact your income, and you're starting to feel like, man, I got to do something different to get control over it, drop a me into the chat below. Just let me know that it's something that's kind of resonating with you, and understanding that, yeah, this is what's going on. I'm feeling it. I know it's there, and I know I need to do something about it. So as we're talking about making this transition from order taker to sales maker, this order taker to sales maker, one of the things we need to do is we need to kind of define some terms, and we need to do a quick assessment for you to figure out where are you on the order taker to sales maker timeline, or and it's not really a timeline, but on the, I'm an order taker, I'm a sales maker. Where are you on this kind of spectrum, if you will? Because if you don't really get honest with where you're at, because we talk to a lot of people and they're like, oh no, I'm a sales maker. And then we kind of analyze it and like, no, you're kind of an order taker. And so if you don't know how to make this shift and you don't know where you are, it's going to kind of help. You're going to struggle to really do what you need to do to get there, and to know what you need to do to get there. So I want to kind of have some fun. I put together this little kind of quiz, if you will, this little assessment quiz. So we're going to have some fun, and I want you to use the chat below. I want you to be honest. Be honest. You're in good company here. I'm just going to let you know you're not the only one who's going to kind of struggle with some of these. But here's what I want you to do. Question number one, I want you to answer it in the chat. So when you're answering the question, I want you to put a number one, and then, or whatever question we're on, like one, and then your answer. So two, and then your answer, one, and then your answer, that sort of thing. Just so I know, because there's a delay, so I never know which one you're actually answering immediately. So number one, do you often talk about working only by referral? You often talk about, well, I work primarily by referral. Most of my business is repeat and referral. Most of my business comes from my sphere of influence from referrals. If that's you, put a 1 and then a yes into the chat. Do you often talk about working primarily or only by referral? If that's you, type a 1 plus a yes into the chat, and be honest. We're just going to come through here, roll through with some assessments to see where you guys are at. Number two, do you get 70% or more of your business from referrals, past clients, or sphere of influence? So does 70% or more of your business come from past clients, referrals, or sphere of influence? If it does, put a 2 and then a yes into the chat and drop it below. So let me know where you're at in terms of what percentage of your business comes from referrals, past clients, sphere of influence. Number 3, can you accurately, not guess, can you accurately predict how many leads you're going to get in the next 30 days? So if I were to ask you right now, exactly how many leads are you going to get in the next 30 days? Yeah, is it going to be like, well, I don't know, probably like 4, I don't know, 5, I typically get a few a month or whatever it is. If that's where you're at, then you can't accurately predict how many leads you're going to get. But if you're a client, it's like, I'm going to get, somewhere between 35 and 40 leads in the next 30 days. Or I'm going to get 15 to 30 or 15 to 20 in the next 30 days. Or I'm going to get 100 in the next 30 days. Whatever it is, our clients start to understand that they can control and predict their lead flow. So can you accurately predict how many leads you're going to get in the next 30 days? So put a 3 and then your answer below. Number 4, can you control how many leads you will get in the next 30 days? So if you needed more, so maybe you're like, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5, a handful. Do you know what you need to do to accurately, to actually control and change that number in the next 30 days? Not hope it works, not spray and pray sort of marketing, but do you know what you need to do? Do you have a volume knob, as one of our coaches calls it, a volume knob for your business where it's like, man, I can turn it up, I can turn it down. I call it a throttle. Can you throttle it up, throttle it back? Can you control the number of leads you're going to get in the next 30 days? Now, I put number 5 in there because I didn't want 6 questions. I wanted 7. But will you get more than a few leads in the next 30 days? So maybe you're like, well, no, I know I'm going to get exactly 5 leads, but that's not enough. Are you going to get more than just a few leads in the next 30 days? If you're going to get more than a few leads in the next 30 days, or you know for certain you're going to get more than a few leads, type a 5 and then a yes into the chat. Now, here's where we start to get serious. Number 6, and you're going to see why this is really important in just a minute. Do you have a proven listing presentation and a proven buyer presentation? Do you have a proven listing presentation and a proven buyer presentation? Or do you just show up and you kind of wing it? You kind of wing it. And what's really interesting is where we see this play out. Because people who work primarily by referral, they typically don't have proven listing presentations, proven buyer presentations. People who know how to make sales happen tend to have those things because they understand that referrals are different than non-referral lead sources. And so if you're only working by referral, sphere of influence, all of that stuff, and then you try and apply the same strategies over to other leads, it breaks down. So the people who have proven listing presentations, proven buyer presentations, that they're dialed in, they are solid, those are the ones that we start to see that are more on that that sales maker side of the equation. And the number 7, do you struggle to convert non-repeat business, non-referral business, non-sphere of influence business? Like, do you struggle to get those people to convert from lead to appointment, appointment to client, client to close? It's like, man, I'm great when it's a referral. I struggle when it's anything else. And just be honest. If you struggle, put a 7 into the chat and type a yes. If it's something you struggle with, we're going to fix that today and help you get better at this and show you what you're going to need to put in place. But be honest. So based on those questions, I want you to type into the chat. Are you closer to the order taker side of the equation where it's like, man, I don't know how many leads I'm going to get. I'm working primarily by referral, because referrals, those are orders, guys. Those are orders. We love the orders when they come in, but you cannot depend on those. And I'm going to show you why in a second. But are you more on the order taker side, or did you end up more on the sales maker side where it's like, man, I get, 40% of my business from non-repeat referral sphere of influence. I have a proven listing and buyer or listing presentation and buyer presentation. I know I can control my lead flow. I can control the volume. I control the quantity. I can predict it. If you're more on the sales maker side, drop a sales maker into the chat. Let me know where you kind of fall on this spectrum. All right. So here's what I want to do. I want to talk about 5 simple steps right now that you can take to transition yourself from order taker to sales maker. 5 simple steps that you can take right now. It's going to be hard work. I'm not going to lie, but it's simple. We're not going to overcomplicate this. We're going to go 5 simple steps to transition from order taker to sales maker, from roadkill to driver. Okay. So step number 1 is I want you to develop what we're calling a 6X mindset. Develop a 6X mindset. You're like, why not a 10X? Because that's a whole different thing. We're not talking about like go 10X. There's an actual mathematical reason behind 6X here. And I want to explain this. Right now, what we're seeing across the board is it's taking about 6 times the amount of work to get somebody to move from lead to appointment, from appointment to client, and from client to closing table. We're watching the volume of work that agents are having to do right now move and go up by 6X, meaning they're having to send 6 times as many points of communication, six times as many contact attempts, They're having to, take them to 6 times as many homes. They're having to write 6 times as many offers. Like on average, what we're seeing is that, and it's not all the way across the board, but the idea is that what we're seeing is that the work that people are having to do is increasing. To get one close is taking about 6 times more work and effort and intention than it was taking just 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, if you were in the business 2 years ago, it was like, welcome to the industry. Go get some deals, go close some things, because it was more about availability. If you were available, you could make money in this industry. But what we're seeing now is that it takes work, and it takes a commitment to that work. And so it's a different level of mindset, because if you got into the business, a lot of people got licensed in 2020. It's like, well, I'm sitting around at home. I may as well go get my real estate license. Welcome to the industry. Glad you're here. It's an awesome place to be. And at the same time, you don't understand what it really takes to win in this market. And if you've never been through a shift before, you don't understand the amount of work dramatically goes up. And so if you're not mentally prepared to do the extra work, it wears on you, it exhausts you, it overwhelms you, it frustrates you. And so what I want you to do instead is I want you to embrace that this is what it's going to take, and realize this is what's going to separate you from your competition. Because right now your competition is like, it's hard. I know it's hard. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy. It's simple, but it is hard freaking work. And 2020, 2021, and even part of 2022, they lied to you. Those years lied to you. It's not that easy. It really isn't. It's not. We stick a listing on the market and, oh my gosh, 48 offers in 24 hours. That was a lie. It's not normal. And now what you're dealing with is you're dealing with a consumer that is hearing a ton of negative news, a ton of fear-based information all over the place. And you're having to handle objections, and you're having to handle psychology, and you're having to develop better skill sets, better people skill sets, better follow-up process. Like everything changed in 2022 if you are newer to the business, or if you just got really comfortable in 20 and 21, in the beginning of 2022, things changed. But if your intention and your effort hasn't increased over that time, you've watched your business rapidly, or for most of you it's rapidly, but some of you it's slowly kind of plateau or decrease, and you're seeing on the horizon it's not looking as good as it once was. And so it starts by embracing this 6X mindset of, I am willing to do whatever it's going to take. I'm not going to argue with it. I have a really wonderful mentor of mine who used to say, if you want to sail to Hawaii, there's no use arguing with the wind. You need the wind. You need the challenge. This is what it is. You can argue with it, or you can embrace it, and you can learn to, as he said, dance with the wind. So if it's not windy, you're not going anywhere. There's challenges in this market, but that's where you create your value. So you've got to develop the 6X mindset that just says, I'm embracing, this is the market, this is the reality, and I am all in on building this business and making the money I want to make. Number two, step number two is it's time to get control over your lead flow. You got to get control over your lead flow. That means, and I'm going to slaughter a sacred cow here, here it goes. You should not build your business primarily off of repeat and referral business. Your sphere of influence should not be the primary source of your business. Why? Very, very, very simply. And this is something I have been preaching for 13 freaking years. And it is a sacred cow in this industry. I only work by referral. Here's the problem with that. And you're starting to see it right now in this industry. Repeat and referral business. Here's the problem with it. Number one, you cannot predict it. So if I were to ask you exactly how many referrals are you going to get in the next 30 days, the only honest answer is, I don't know. If I ask you exactly how many of your past clients are going to come back to you in the next 30 days, the only honest answer, I don't know. If I were to ask you how many of your sphere are going to buy or sell a house with you in the next 30 days, the only answer that is completely honest is, you guessed it, I don't know. And if you're waking up every day and your primary strategy, you're like, I get 90% of my business from referrals and past clients. I look at that and I go, holy crap, that should scare the crap out of you. And it probably does a lot of the times. When it's great, it's great. But in a shifting market, here's the other problem with repeat and referral. In a normal, and we're going to get to the post-COVID market in just a second, but in a normal shifting market, here's what most people don't realize. Repeat business and referrals generally dry up by upwards of 50 to 85%. That should scare you. So if you, I want you to run some quick math with me here. So I'm gonna get a little calculator here so you can see this. So if you would normally do 20 deals in a year, so let's say you would do 20 deals. You're like, I do 20 deals, and it's like mostly repeat referral, sphere of influence, all of that. And that's fine. But then all of a sudden, 50% of your business goes away and you go from 20. I know this is like, you're like, Travis, this isn't hard math. You're down to 10 deals. 10 deals. But what happens if it goes down by 85% like it does for a lot of people? If instead you're only doing 15% as many as you were doing before, that's 3. If it decreases by 85%, you're down to 3 deals. Even 50% sucks. Even 40% sucks because your lifestyle, it's at 20. It's at 20. Like, let's be honest, your lifestyle rose to match your income and your income hit 20. And you're like, yay, go out, get the BMW, get the Mercedes, get the things. And then all of a sudden it decreases by even 40%. That's going to put financial stress on you. 30% puts financial stress on you. And if you don't know how to go out and get new leads into the business and fill the top of that pipeline, you're in trouble. Now, let me talk about the COVID market and what we saw happen. And most people are not talking about this. So in a normal market, in a regular market, people will move about every 7 years. So people will, they buy a house, they'll stay in the house for somewhere between 5 to 7 years in a normal market. That's fine. That's great. So what's happening is every year, if you've been in the business long enough, it's like every 5 to 7 years, people are cycling back through your funnel again. If you're good at keeping in touch with your past clients and all of that. And so people who are like, I work only by referral, a lot of times they're depending on that 5 to 7 year cycle. COVID changed the game and it changed the cycle time. So what happened was interest rates hit rock bottom, like 3%, 4%. And meanwhile, what happened to home prices? Skyrocketed. So did equity. So now all these people who were like, I bought my house 2 years ago and I'm sitting on like a 60% increase in my equity, I can cash out my equity and I can go get a loan at 4% or 3.75% on a bigger house, and I can upsize my lifestyle while downsizing my payment, cashing out my equity. All those people who might have waited 5 to 7 years, what happened? They shortened their time frame to 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So all those people that right now in the next, between 2023, 2024, 2025, all those people who would normally be coming up now, they bump their time frame into 2020, 2021, and the beginning of 2022 to capitalize on the low interest rates. So now they're all sitting pretty. They're like, I got a bigger house. I got a low mortgage payment. I've got a 3% interest rate. Why do I want to, why would I want to get out of this position and go take on a loan at 6%? Now, some people have to, and there's reasons why they would do it. And it's not everybody, but it's a large number of people that were normally in that would be in your life cycle in that normal 5 to 7 year window, bump their time frame forward. And now you're entering that dry spell where everybody you would have normally picked up here, you picked up back over here. And now you're like, crap, what do I do? How do I get beyond this? So this is why you have to start finding ways to fill the pipeline. This is why we teach our clients how to use free strategies for lead generation, how to use low cost strategies for lead generation, and how to use paid strategies for lead generation. I am here to tell you, I don't buy leads. Get over that. At some point, you need to invest in lead flow. You are a business owner. Business owners invest in lead flow. You have to fill the top of that pipeline. Now, we show our clients free strategies. In fact, 2 weeks ago, I did a training here where I talked about one of those free strategies on buying old leads. No cash out of pocket. It's basically free in terms of your cash flow. I'd encourage you, when the training is done here, go back and watch that training from 2 weeks ago, because we talked about one of those strategies. So there's free strategies, there's low cost strategies, and when you're ready for right people, there's paid strategies. At some point, I believe everybody should invest some amount of your money into lead flow. You got to pay for leads. Is this making sense, guys? If it's making sense, type a yes into the chat, because I just want to make sure we're following along here, that you're going to have to be somebody who, like a business owner, moves from I only work by referral to, you know what, I'm going to invest in the lead. Get as many referrals as you can, by the way. Take all the referrals. Work your sphere. I'm not saying don't. Everybody thinks I hate repeat referral, but like Travis hates referrals. No, Travis loves referrals. I hate building a business just off of referrals. Get as many as you can, but you better have some control over some chunk of your lead flow. And I believe you should never get more than 60 to max 70% of your business from referrals, past client, sphere of influence. Okay? Now, the third thing you're going to need to do to make that shift from order taker to sales maker is you need to create and follow a proven follow-up plan. So here's why this is so important, guys. And this is what we see happening right now when we're getting, my team and I, when we're getting on the phone with people. Here's what's happening is people who have been working only by referrals, no offense to those of you who this is it, but I'm here to tell you, you are not as good at sales as you think you are. You're good at working people who are coming to you that are warm, they're warmed up, and they're like, oh my gosh, Betty told me I need to call you, and we're just going to use you because if Betty says to call, like whoever Betty says to use, we're going to use, and you're like, I'm great at sales. No, that's an order. And so what ends up happening is that, here's how we know when somebody's been an order taker primarily working off of referrals, is we talk to them and they'll say things like, well, online leads suck. You know, they're just tire kickers. They're not serious. They're all crap leads. You know, everybody's just wanting free information and everybody's just this. All online leads suck. And what that tells me is that, because here's the truth, guys, the leads don't suck. Your follow-up plan sucks. Your process for nurturing them from lead to closing table, that process, your process blows. It's terrible because you're used to having people come to you where you don't have to do much. And you're like, I'm a really good salesman. No, you're not. Like, it's okay, but you got to admit it. You may be good at some things. I'm not saying you're terrible all the way around. You're a really great real estate agent, obviously, but there's a difference between being great at the practice of real estate and having great skills for business development, for marketing, for lead generation, for conversion, for scripting, for sales, for persuasion, for negotiation. All of those things are things you have to be better at than if you're just working referrals. And so when you take online leads and you approach them, or any leads from any source, I don't care what it is other than referrals, past clients, sphere of influence, you take any lead source, I don't care what it is, and you approach them as if they're the same over here, of course this group's not going to respond. Why would they? But what happens is, rather than the people going, I should probably not treat them like they're referrals, not treat them like my past clients, not treat them like they're this group. I need to treat them as different. They don't do that. They don't go, I should probably develop a new process. It's why one of the very first things we teach our clients is have a process for your referrals. That's great. We want you to have that. But let's talk about this over here. Let's talk about your follow-up plan. Let's talk about the cadence, the timing, what you're going to say. Let's talk about what you're going to send, when you're going to send it. Let's talk about what this is going to look like, because if you approach it like they're referrals, if you approach it like it's repeat business, if you approach it like it's sphere of influence, it will not work. Now, let me be honest here real quick, because some people are going to go, wait, so you're saying there's no bad lead sources? No, there's some really crappy online lead sources out there. I'm not saying they're all equal. What I'm telling you, though, is everybody says they all suck, or I don't invest in lead flow. That's just dangerous. It's just bad business. That's bad CEO thinking. That's employee thinking, not CEO thinking. I want you to think like a CEO. In what industry, in what business there is no other industry I've ever encountered where everybody's like, I only work by referrals. Real estate's like the only one. It's crazy thinking. So it's making that shift and having a better follow-up plan. And you also need to understand that there are different follow-up plans based on even the lead source sometimes. So a great example, referrals, different follow-up plan than if you're going to run, let's say, strategic Facebook ads. And again, most people are like, Facebook ads suck. Well, honestly, the way most people do Facebook ads, they do suck. Like, I boosted a post. Who cares? Nobody responds to those things. But when you have a plan, you can't approach them the same way. But it can also be the same thing depending on how they come in and where you're getting the leads from. You might alter your approach and your plans a little differently because they're going to require different strategies to get them from lead to appointment, appointment to client, client to close. Does that make sense, guys? Is that making sense? So, where were we? Oh, number four, use better scripts. Use better scripts. So this is something we talked a little bit about last week as well. So 2 weeks ago, I gave away one of our free strategies, kind of explained it to you. Last week, I talked quite a bit about scripting. You guys need to use better scripts. And this is part of what creates call reluctance for people and why people have such a hard time moving from order taker to sales maker, because the scripts that you've been handed by your broker, by your training program, the scripts you find online, they're abysmal. In fact, I've downloaded just recently, because I get the same ads you guys get. And so I was on Facebook and I just saw a couple of ads from some different people like, hey, get these scripts. And I downloaded the scripts, and I am telling you, they are almost identical to each other because they are all stemming back from the same scripts that were built in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s, and they suck. They absolutely suck. So here's what ends up happening. Let me give you an example of something like this. This is so funny. And I know when the script was created because it's clearly obvious. And so what happens is people will call. Let's say you get a lead through the website and you have this script, and what do the scripts all say you should do? You call the scripts that you're working. You're like, okay, let me grab my script here, my trusty script, and you grab your script and you're like, okay, hi, this is Travis with Robertson Realty. How are you today? Oh, good. Hey, I saw you requested some information on my website, and I just wanted to make sure. Are you finding everything okay? Seriously? It's 2023. Like, that script made a ton of sense in like 2001. 2000, 1999, where it's like, hey, you're having trouble navigating the website. Nowadays, it's like, yeah, I know how to use property search. Thank you very much. I've been on Zillow. I've been on Redfin. I've, like kind of done this before. I'm not struggling to find anything. And so then it's like, oh, okay, well, let me know if you have any questions. And it just becomes weird. And you're calling more as like website tech support than as a real estate professional. And so if you have the wrong scripts, you can have the right follow-up process, but if what you're saying is inauthentic or it's salesy and sleazy and just awful, you're not going to want to do it. You're not going to want to make those calls. You're not going to want to have those conversations, and you're not going to know how to transition them because it's just weird. It's just odd. So you have to have scripts that are going to guide you through and that you can implement, that you go, man, I feel good saying this. It feels valuable. And it's driving them to an intentional outcome, an obvious, logical, tangible next step. And that it works in today's world. The consumers are smart, guys. It's 2023. We can't treat them like it's 1985 or 2001. And it's like, you having trouble navigating through my website? Not really. Like, kind of been doing this now for, I don't know, 20 plus years. So the world has changed. Your scripts have to be updated. Make sure you're doing this. And no, just like your follow-up plan, you have to have different scripts for different situations. Now, one of the things you can do, and this is what we teach our clients, is you can use, if you understand script structure, and you can structure your scripts, and then you can tweak them just little bits, and you don't have to learn all these fancy scripts for very unique situations. They're just minor tweaks. If you do it right, you do it well. You're just making small little adjustments to different sections of the script, depending on where the lead's coming from, and it works like a charm if you understand how to do that. But you don't have to overhaul and create like 48 different scripts. I love when people are like, get my script packet of 148 proven scripts. And you're like, most people can't remember one, let alone 148. It's 148 things you'll never say. So you want to make sure that you just keep it tight, keep it simple, and have a script that you can use and a structure that you can use and just modify for different situations based on where they're coming from. The number 5, the 5th shift you need to make is you need to invest in skill set development. You need to invest in skill set development. Now, there is a huge difference between what your broker might be providing or your association might be providing or what you're getting in like free content on YouTube and real skill set development. So sales is a skill, you guys, and it's a skill that requires an investment of both time and money. Time and money. I want to talk about time right now. So you need to invest the time into role playing. You should not be practicing on your leads. You should not be practicing on your appointments. You should not be practicing your listing presentation the first time you're giving it. Like, oh, hey, glad I'm here at your house. Let me kind of run through this for the first time. It's like you need to invest time into the skill set development and into things like role playing, listening to your calls. You should be recording at least your side of any call that you're making. So if you're making calls to leads or even to referrals, record at least your side of the conversation. If you have a phone system that allows you to record both sides and go back and listen to it. What did I say there? How did that go? What can I learn from that? You're treating it like a profession. I love football, like NFL football. I'm a big NFL football fan. Love it every single year. Right now, there's like other sports, I guess, right now that are being played. I don't really know what they're called. But every year, like around August, preseason starts, and I love football. But one of the things that you'll find with the greatest football players, they spend time watching they call it studying the film, the game tape. Okay, what happened on that play? What did I do? Where was I in position? Quarterbacks especially. It's like, okay, what was the defense showing? Where was my man? Okay, what happened? Where was this rush coming from? How could I have handled that differently? And they study it and they get better because they don't want to make the same mistake over and over and over and over again because it costs them production, which costs them money. So are you investing the time in treating this like a skill set that you need to develop? So are you listening to sales training? Are you listening to sales training in between your appointments? Or when you're driving to work, when you're driving to the office, when you're driving to meet a client, you could be listening to sales training. This is where you're investing the time into developing that skill set, and then invest time into putting systems together and follow-up systems together and making sure that you have things in place that are going to support you in becoming a sales maker, in knowing how to make deals happen. And then the second thing you need to invest into your business is money. You need to invest money into the skill sets that you're going to need to get there. See, into programs that are designed to shortcut your process. Look, guys, we've mapped it all out. It's why we can take clients like Don Evans or Rob Turno, who's on was on here just a minute ago in Huntsville, Alabama, who came to us with nothing in the pipeline. They both came with nothing in the pipeline. In a matter of weeks, get them with closings lined up and clients lined up and deals lined up, because we can just shortcut the success and the skill set. And if it's not our program, invest in a program. Invest in your skill set. It's the most important skill set you can develop, is the ability to sell. So are you investing into your skill set and getting better at it and putting the money in? Because you need to ask yourself, if you want to get your business to the next level, whatever that next level is, how are you going to get there? Whatever that is, if you don't develop the skills that you're going to need to get there. And you may be wondering, well, how do you know, Travis, that I don't already have those skills? Because if you did, you would be there. It's kind of the reason you're not where you want to be is you're lacking some skill set that you don't have that is going to get you to that next level. And I want you to invest the time and the money and the energy into developing that skill set. Order takers, it's like, I don't invest in lead flow. I don't invest in skill set. I don't invest in this. The orders come in. Sales makers, they're like, I'm going to invest in leads. I'm going to invest in systems. I'm going to invest in skill set. I'm going to invest in myself, because the biggest investment I can make is into myself, because I take me with me wherever I go. And the better I get at this, the more I can serve people and help people and make more money and make a bigger impact, which makes me more money and allows me to live the life that I want to live and provide for my family and your dreams in the way that you want to be able to do it. You've got to invest in that skill set, and never listen to anybody who tells you you don't need to invest in leads or yourself, because they're fools. Straight up fools. Anybody who's successful will tell you, I invested into my business. I invested into lead flow. I invested into skill set development. I invest. Because that's where wealth is created. That's where income is created. So as we wrap up today's training, guys, I want to do this. I want to offer a special invitation. So before we jumped on, we counted in the next 72 hours, we have 13 spots available. I want to invite 13 of you to a free strategy session called 60 Minutes to an Extra Six Figures. We want to show you, it's going to be with me or somebody else on the team in the next 72 hours, how you can scale your business up. And this isn't for everyone, guys. This is for real estate agents really looking to grow your production, or for team leaders who are really wanting, maybe you're having trouble getting your team to produce, getting your team to scale up. If you want to take advantage of this, here's what I want you to do. I want you to type ready into the comments below. Just type the word ready into the comments below. Now, let me do this. Because this isn't for everyone, let me tell you who this is for and who this is not for. So this is for people who are full-time in real estate, or who are ready to do what it takes to become full-time in real estate. So by the way, you have to be licensed. If you're not licensed, we love you, get your license, then come back. But you got to be licensed in order to take action on what we're going to be going over in the call. So this is a call where you got to be full-time in the business. You got to be ready to go full-time. And here's the other thing. If you're like, man, this is a side hustle for me, don't book a call. You're not ready for what we do. We're looking for people, and we're helping people who are ready to do, add 2, 3, 4 closings a month to their production or more. This is for serious agents looking to do serious production, looking to scale, looking to build their income. So it's not for the hobbyists. It's not for the part-timers who don't want to go full-time. It's not for people who aren't licensed. You're not going to get anything out of it. I love you. When you're ready, come back. We'll talk. But right now, this is for people who are truly ready to scale their business up and willing to do whatever it takes to get there. So if you are, type ready into the chat below. And guys, this is a complimentary opportunity to speak with me or somebody on my team to really talk through and create a game plan for how you're going to get your business growing as quickly as possible. There's huge opportunity, guys. Remember, I said, you're either going to be roadkill or you're going to be the driver. And right now, there's a lot of people that are just stuck in the middle of the road, deer in the headlights. They're like, where do I go? How do I get there? What do I do? What do I change? I don't know what to do. And there's all these things that get thrown at you. And we can just cut through all that clutter, cut through all that noise, and show you exactly what you need to be doing, exactly what you need to put in place to get that business adding 2 to 3 closings a month or more to your production. And here's the other thing. We can show you what you need to do over the next 90 days to add 1 to 3 deals into your pipeline, closed or under contract. We're going to show you what it's going to take for you guys to get there. We want to be able to help you. So if you're ready, you want to talk with somebody on my team, type ready into the chat. Somebody on my team will reach out to you, help you get a time scheduled that works best for you. And in the meantime, guys, next week, we've got a cool training we're getting lined up. As soon as we have it all dialed in, I will let you know. But guys, if you found this valuable, make sure you do me a favor. Hit the like button or smash the like button as they say in these days. Smash the like button, smash the heart button. Let me know that this resonated, that this was valuable. And again, drop a ready into the chat when you're ready to talk with somebody on my team. All right, guys, go have a blessed and wonderful rest of your week. Welcome to June. The year is almost 6 months over. Get to work making that shift from order taker to sales maker. And I will see you on the next training. Take care, everybody.